How you guys doing? All right, so I just wanted to make a short video today and just to show you some things that I have growing in my backyard that are things that grow very well here in Zone 9B. I'm in Orlando, to Zone 9B. So if you guys are, looking to grow vegetables, especially in this time with all the virus and the quarantine, you're gonna want to try to have things growing in your backyard: vegetables, fruiting trees, edible plants, edible trees, anything that you can eat, that might get you through rough times. You want to have that growing, So today I was gonna show you a few things that I have growing here that do well, that you can add to your backyard forest or to your backyard. And let's move on. Let me show you. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show you was this cactus here. And this particular variety of cactus is a spineless variety. But these leaves, you can eat them. You can prepare them and eat them. It's used in a lot of, it's used in Mexican dishes. Mexicans, they prepare this leaf. I have yet to do it. I don't know how it tastes. I don't know how to prepare it, but if you're into that, this is a good one. And I believe it's a Nopal Cactus. I believe that's the name of it. But this thing grows very well here in Orlando, Zone 9B. It's actually a weed. It actually grows like a weed. You take one of these leaves off and you drop in the ground. Before you know it, she's going to be sprouting new growth and new leaves. This actually was a piece of one that I chopped down from another one. I think it was maybe a little piece or a leaf. And look at it now. A year later, about a year and a half later, this thing is a monster tree. So, consideration, if you think that you're going to want to prepare the leaves, it's a nice ornamental plant if you have the room. It's nice ornamental, but it's also a good backup. If I needed to eat these leaves and prepare them and eat them, hey, it's here. All right, so that was my first on the list that I wanted to show you. And I believe it's called Nopal Cactus, but this particular one does not produce edible fruit. It does flower. Actually, here's the flowers down here. But it does not produce the fruit. All right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so here we go. Scarlet Beauty Plum. And this one's a workhorse. Every year, it is loaded with fruit. And you can see it's not a big tree. It's not a big tree at all. This one, I believe this one might be on a dwarf rootstock, or it may be that it produces so much fruit throughout the year, it never has enough energy to really grow, which is probably the case here. But these things are a powerhouse and they do very well here in Orlando, Zone 9B. So it's a low chill variety, so you're going to want to consider it if you like stone fruit, if you like peaches, plums, that kind of stuff. This variety would be very recommended. Scarlet Beauty Plum. Okay, Mr. Pineapple. That's right, pineapples grow well here. This year I didn't get too many. Last year I had a bunch. Last year I had about maybe 8. I got another little one there. So this year I don't have too many because the ones that I have, the plants that I have, are not at maturity size yet. This was the only one that was at a mature size. And then next year my other ones will be flowering. And what you do is with the pineapples, once you harvest, you want to make sure to take that tip, the top part, and you want to throw it back in the ground and plant it so that you continuously have a supply of pineapples growing. I got them spread all around the yard. Okay, all right, pineapples, another good plant for zone 9B. All right, so persimmon is another one that grows well here. This one here is a Fuji persimmon, and I have to get a longer stake so that I can kind of straighten it up. They have this weird type of growth. It's like a weeping type of growth. They have long branches. So I have to get a long stake so I can stake it up and fix that. But these also, oops, yeah, she's flopping over a lot. These also die back in the winter. And come spring, you get all this new growth. This is all new growth. And with the new growth, you'll get flowers and fruit. This year, it's not giving me as many flowers. Not sure why, but usually it produces very well. All right, this is the Fuji persimmon, another great addition to your food forest or your backyard for zone 9B. Oh boy, look at that beast. My. This is not something you can eat, but I just wanted to show you. This is blooming. What a beast, huh? All right, let's go down this way. Just wanted to show you another great. Y'all see that? That's right. Peaches. Let me get out from under here. Okay. So, there you go. I am surrounded by peaches. Yeah, this year I had to bag mine up. Look at those peaches, beautiful, huh? I had to bag them up. Look at that. Because last year I had fruit flies and they got into all my fruit. And I really don't like the extra protein in my fruit. Now this thing has so much fruit that I had to stake it up. I had to support this one branch because this branch was drooping with so much fruit. And the one thing about peach trees, you should thin them. I thinned some this year, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't thin it as much as I should have. So when you don't thin it as much, you just get a lot on the branches, and your branches sometimes break. But sometimes, instead of getting nice large fruit like this, you'll get smaller fruit like this if you have too many, right? Okay, so this one, let me get out of here. It's like a jungle here. This one is a low chill variety. This particular one is called Tropic Beauty. Still have the tag on it, believe it or not. This thing is maybe, how many years in the ground? I think maybe like 4 or 5 years in the ground. And I do trim it. So it would have been probably about 4 times the size of this if I don't trim. It will grow by the end of the season. It'll grow up, but I'll come back and I'll chop it down, and then come spring, it'll all grow back again. Okay. So low chill varieties of peaches, they do very well here in Orlando. Zone 9B. Okay, another great addition. All right, y'all, and what you're seeing taking over my fence is passion fruit. This is a yellow passion fruit variety, which hasn't flowered for me yet. I actually planted this in the summer of last year. And I did see blooms coming. I did see buds, but it's still holding off. We've been a little dry, so maybe it needs to get a good heavy rain. I just recently fertilized it, so let's see if maybe that'll help. But these things do grow tall and they do take over, so you want to make sure that you have plenty of room if you want to grow passion fruit. Some people like to grow them up trees, but fences are good as well. And they do love trees. Let me show you actually. If you don't keep an eye on this thing, it will send out its branches and it will take over your trees. See, right now it's trying to take over my mango, so I have to come back and cut that. But there you go, passion fruit. This is a yellow variety, but the purple ones grow well here as well. Okay, and here's another one that does very well here in zone 9B. That's right, y'all. It's mulberry. I don't have any mulberries in here that are ready, but these are small. They do get a little bit larger than that. And this one, the birds love this one as well, so you gotta compete with the birds to get the berries. Okay, so I've picked off a bunch of berries from this so far, so these are kind of like stragglers that are left. And I just recently pruned it because the secret with mulberries to keep them fruiting is to trim it, keep it pruned, so that it's constantly producing new flush, because with the new flush, this is where you get your fruit. And also I try to keep it try to keep the size controlled and try to keep it as bushy as I can, otherwise it will grow very tall and leggy. So this one here, I believe, is a giant mulberry known as a Florida mulberry. It's not one of the ones that produces the real long ones, but it does produce a berry that's probably, you know, twice the size of that. It's twice as thick and twice as long. All right, so mulberry, another great addition to your food forest for zone 9B. Okay, so what we have here is Hefner Adamoya. That's right. It's still a small tree. I just planted this one last year, and I tipped it because I needed it to start branching out. So these usually die back in the winter. That's just the way they are. And then when they flush back in spring, this is what happens. You get little flowers as well. You'll get flush with flowers. And this one, as you can see, has quite a few flowers. All right, considering it's such a small little tree. So hopefully, I haven't had fruit from this one yet, but hopefully this year I may have a fruit or two. It's a small tree, so I may not even let it hold fruit, but just wanted to show you. This one does very well in our zone 9B. Once again, Orlando. So another good choice if you're into sugar apples. I mean, you may want to try your fruit before you actually start planting things, but sugar apples, Adamoyas, they're pretty similar. They're in the same family. I actually have, let's walk down here, I have a red Kapong mauve, which is a red sugar apple, and this one as well, flushed and it's producing flowers, but not as much as the Adamoya, but there are a few buds. And this one was another one that I planted. Actually, this one has been in the ground probably a year more than the other one. I think I planted this one the year before. I had it in a different location. It wasn't doing as well. I moved it here, which is actually a drier location, but it seems to like it more, seems to prefer it better. But here is another good one to grow here. So that was the Adamoya. This is the sugar apple. And these do very well with the cold. They will die back, so the leaves will come off every year. But they grow back beautifully with flowers and fruit. Alright, so consider this one. This particular one is mauve, Kapong mauve, which is a red sugar apple. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, so this here is broadleaf papaya. At least that's what this variety is. This is a new addition. I've never grown this type. So this one's still small, it's still growing. So let's swing around to this monster. That's right, there she blows. Papaya. Papaya. Let me show you another one. Here's another papaya. Got fruit on there that's ready to take off. This is another great addition to your food forest or your backyard here in Zone 9B. Papaya. Alright, so mangoes. Mango trees. Yes, you can grow mango trees in Zone 9B, Orlando. Now they are cold hardy, usually down to like the low 30s, high 20s. And they will need protection if you're gonna get frost or you're gonna get temperatures that low. You're gonna wanna protect these things, but they can grow here in Orlando in our Zone 9B. So if you want to grow things in your food forest, mango trees are one of the things you want to consider. These are some potted ones here. They have some fruit. They're still small, so I probably will remove those. But I do have a few in the ground. Here's another one, cotton candy. So consider mango trees. Just remember, they will get damaged when the temperatures go real low, you know, in the 20s. They do well in 30s, but 20-degree temperatures, you know, in the 20s, that is dangerous for mango trees here. So you're gonna want to protect them somehow. As you can see, I have stakes here. I leave them on during the year, but you'll cover them. You can do like plastic or, you know, some kind of you know, protection over it. And if you have a heat source, that's the best. Alrighty, so consider that. Mango trees, once they start producing fruit, you will love it. Alrighty. Alright, so here you have your dragon fruits. Dragon fruit does well here in Orlando, Zone 9B. And actually, I have a bud coming. There you go, flower buds coming. So another thing you want to consider for growing here in Zone 9B, that'll be dragon fruit. You just want to make sure that you have some type of trellis, you know, something where they can climb up. I put a few cinder block ones over there. And I started some other red varieties that I have. And they'll grow up there. I have to put some type of crossbars on the top. I still haven't finished. So you just want to make sure that they're able to climb and then start hanging, because that's when they're going to start blooming for you and producing fruit. You want to make sure that they start to hang. Alrighty, so dragon fruit, another one to consider for Zone 9B. Okay, what you are looking at, my friends, oops, this, I might eat it right now. Yum, 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 yum. That's right, this here is Moringa. This is a superfood. You need to Google this if you don't know about moringa. This is definitely something you should be growing. You can eat this raw. You can dry it up, make tea out of it. You can make it into a powder and use that powder in your drinks. You can put in capsules. But this is like a multi-dense food plant. Just look it up, Google it if you don't know about it, moringa. This is definitely something you need to be growing. You can even eat the leaves, the flowers, I'm sorry. The flowers are eating. Anything on this tree can be eaten. The seeds, the pods, highly nutritious. Especially in this quarantine time that we're in. I can probably live off of this tree. Never have to buy anything. I can probably live off that tree, just eating it all day. But that is moringa. Does very well here in zone 9B. Alright, so I showed you some of the fruit trees and other edible plants that I have growing. But you can also grow veggies. As you can see, veggies do very well here in Orlando. Zone 9B. We got tomatoes. I've been picking tomatoes every day. There's some nice ones. So tomatoes, peppers, those are good things to grow. Here's another mango that I got growing here. They are good to grow here in Orlando 9B. I also have, let's see what I have growing. I have some eggplant growing. Those nice big bushes in the back. I actually just picked off 2 eggplants from those today, and I got a whole bunch of flowers on this loaded, and I got a couple other fruit that are forming as well. So vegetables, and that kind of stuff are also good to grow in your food forests. You shouldn't only grow trees, fruit trees and stuff. You should try to put some veggies in there as well. And in these times, like now, it's so important to have, food growing in your yard, And it's possible. You can do it. Here's figs. I forgot to show you. Figs. I got them in containers actually. And figs do well as well here in zone 9B if you like those. The only thing with figs is that they are nematode sensitive, and here in Florida, especially in our area, you have the sand soil, and nematodes love that. And so the nematodes will usually hinder the growth on figs if you're not on top of them or watering them well. If you let them dry out too much, you get issues with nematodes. So that's why I have these in containers. So even though they do grow well here, you want to consider the nematode issue when it comes to figs. Alright, so I showed you the things that I have growing here that do well. We got mangoes, we had the Barbados cherry, the gloomy chama, peaches, low chill varieties, bananas. We had the plum, Scarlet beauty plum. I also have, I didn't show you, but I have strawberry guayaba. Does very well. You had your dragon fruit. You have your citrus, pomelo, the bananas. I did show you moringa. I also have avocado, which I didn't show you the avocados. But these I have in containers, but I have some in the ground. I haven't been too successful with the avocados yet, even though they do well here, but I'm still waiting for fruit on mine. But they do grow here in Zone 9B, and they're a good possibility. They don't like full sun, and that's one of the issues I have. My yard is just full sun, so that's why I have some of these tall things growing, and near those tall plants is where I have my avocados actually planted. I got 2 out there, and they're doing good. They just have to get big enough to fruit. So all right, y'all, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you guys are staying safe, staying inside. And if you have a backyard or food forest going, I hope you guys are enjoying your time in your food forest. Once again, if you can, try to grow vegetables, try to grow fruit trees, you know, edible plants, you know, do what you can, you know, because God forbid if I needed to, I can live off my moringa. I'll tell you, I don't have to go out. I'll eat my moringas. I got a bunch of moringas. I got peppers. I got tomatoes. Hey, you know, I can eat. So just keep that in mind. You guys enjoy. Have yourself a good day. And like I said, be safe. Try to stay indoors till this is all over. And enjoy this time that we have free, that we can actually relax and lay back, even though you know, we have all these issues going on. You have to try to enjoy nature from time to time. Enjoy this beauty. All right, y'all, farewell. Orlando Backyard Gardening signing off, y'all. All right, so there you go. Those were some of the things I have growing that do very well here in Zone 9B. Things that you can grow in your backyard. You know, if you're looking to grow a food forest, great additions, great things to grow here. I'm in the jungle right now, just showing you. I'm actually underneath my pomelo tree. This thing is pretty massive. See? Gives you a lot of shade. All right, y'all, so I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, and you know, get out there, grow stuff, grow. It's very important, especially now in these times with the virus and quarantine. So guys, take it easy. You enjoy. Orlando Backyard Gardening signing off. Bye.